What's up, everyone, and greetings from the U.N.A.S.S Midwatch podcast. I'm Rob. I play Chief Master Gunny Doom.
And I'm Chris. I play Second Sergeant Leon. We just want to take a moment and talk about the stress that comes up during the holidays.
So between the two of us, we have about 38 years of military experience. Believe me when I tell you that our job is hard. It is no secret that the suicide rates are too high across the military.
And that during the pandemic, these numbers have risen. With the holidays around the corner and the restrictions we have, we need to be looking out for each other more than ever.
Believe me, if you are out there and you're listening to this or you're in earshot of someone cares about you and wants to help you through this rough time.
There are so many resources out there that you can turn to for help. Military One Source, Military Crisis Line, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, military.com, TRICARE, your chaplain, your chain of command, anyone. Ask for help.
You're not alone in this fight. Many of us deal with mental health issues every day. The old saying holds true about carrying burdens. You just tell one person, it's 50% of that burden off your shoulders. Tell two more, it's down to a quarter. Remember, talk to people.
For the rest of the holidays, we will post websites and phone numbers within our show notes for ways you can get help and help each other.
Remember, watch each other's six out there. Stay safe. Stay U.N.A.S.S strong. Hey, what'd you guys get for Christmas?
Not really anything special.
I just got some money.
Nice.
Oh, that's
money's
sweet.
always good.
Yeah.
About $7,500.
What do you mean some money? That's a shit ton.
Yeah, that's
Who the hell loves you enough to give you $7,500?
a car.
My parents.
Oh,
Just
Damn.
cuz?
Just goes, yeah.
I wish I had parents like
Yeah,
that.
Jesus.
I have
First
a
world problems.
money pit. I have to throw money at a lot.
Oh yeah, your Jeep.
Yeah, you know what Jeep stands for, right? Just empty every pocket.
So funny when we do that. Make acronyms out of nothing.
But it's so true, though.
It is.
You know what the best Christmas gift I got was? Was a pair of fuzzy slippers that are size 12. They're too big for my feet.
Hey, you have room to grow there,
Twice
little guy.
as big as his feet.
Hey, I'll tell you though, they are very comfortable. They keep my feet warm,
feet
but
in those.
I can't move very quickly, or else I'll like trip over them because one of them will come off.
Oh, I thought you meant because your legs don't extend that far.
What'd you get for Christmas? Did you finally get your wife a dog?
No,
Oh my god.
but I got an epoxy floor kit for the garage.
Are you going to use it in your house now or wait till you move?
Well, once we find out where we're home ported for good, I'll probably get it set up.
What if you don't have
Right
a
away.
garage where we go?
I'll just make sure I do get one.
I'll epoxy my bathroom.
Because I also got a tool chest, so I need to find out a place to put the tool chest.
I mean, what if we go to, like, California, and they don't, notoriously are not known for having
That is the place you
garages?
want to be. It's an old school reference there.
It is.
They don't have garages?
Not everywhere.
I lived in California and I had a garage in both places that I had.
Yeah, but you lived up north, right?
Well, I lived in San Diego at one point.
Yeah.
I like how he nods in agreement, like up north, and he's like, well, you know, yeah.
Well, no,
In
I'm saying
San
like
Diego.
in San Diego is where I lived originally. We had a garage, and then I moved up north, like an hour and a half away. That's what he was referring to, and I had a garage up there also. But I did see a lot of carports.
Yeah,
It does make sense.
There's a lot of driveways with no garages.
Yeah, just
San
like a
Diego.
little overhead.
I have noticed a
carport.
lot of people who live there and move always are very pretentious about it. Like, God, I can't wait to get back to San Diego.
Oh, God.
Their accent changes.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever
I've
heard
been away on
someone say
travel.
San Diego. Who the hell have you talked to that's like that?
That's exactly what I hear when you talk about your trip and life in San Diego.
Like, do you want to go to L.A.?
LA.
L.A. and get some
Yeah.
tacos in L.A.?
There's only one good restaurant in LA, and it's a Mexican restaurant, and there's only real Mexican restaurants in LA.
Who do you know that
True
talks
story.
like that?
That's what every person I've ever met who's lived in San Diego sounds like. It's ridiculous.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm so irritated right now.
Oh, we can tell.
Okay.
Do you guys know non-minor captain Jacobin?
Jacobin, yeah.
I am not privileged enough to know that person.
Well, good, because this guy is not very nice. Not nice at all.
You look like you wanted to unleash.
Don't hold
something.
back.
I was going to
Yeah.
say something else, but then I remembered my decorum training and I reeled it in.
That
Man,
hour
that's-
of decorum training you did online.
Listen, I aced it.
It's just us in here. It's
Okay.
not like anybody's
So,
listening.
first
38
of all,
minutes.
this guy has no idea who I am whatsoever.
He obviously should know.
But
Really
apparently
care.
I'm on some dink list of his for this Sagwo pin PQS,
Oh, okay.
which I literally just learned about. And
Is that what, like, we have a SAG pin also, but is that what the officers are calling it too?
so yes, it's our warfare pin, and I mean I know I'm supposed to do it, but apparently there's like a timeline. You're supposed to like do this before you do this, and then nobody has talked to me about it whatsoever. And I'm on a dink list.
Well, it sounds like they talked to you about it today.
Well, yes. I got called to his office along with another guy that I just met. And
What's
he
DINK stand for?
basically what?
What's DINK stand for?
I don't
'Cause-
even know.
Delinquent.
Delinquent?
Yeah, I thought it was delinquent.
Okay. Well, I think Dink, and I look at Drew because he's tiny.
I think when they say dink, it's D-I-N-Q, not D-I-N-K.
Oh.
Though I have seen people spell it as D-I-N-K. It makes me giggle.
Anyways,
No,
sorry,
that's
man.
also you. That's double income, no kids.
Or D-N-Q. It could be either one.
So it is you.
So
Double income, no
yes,
kids.
Yes, it's yeah, I'm on this list. It doesn't mean I'm short. Although I am.
You are very short.
I am pretty short.
Often to the point where I wonder how you decorated the upper areas of our office.
It's called a stool
Let's not lie. You
and
Was
a
it a-
chair
A 10-foot stool.
and the desk.
Some people call them A.
Oh, so a
I'm
stool.
gonna be honest.
So a chair with a stool on it on the desk. Got it.
That
makes
sounds
sense
like you
now.
didn't do your safety training if you were
I did
stacking
my
stuff.
aloft chit thing.
Sounds
What's
like you
aloft?
did your aloof training.
Yes.
A loft? A loft is where you go to a higher part where you're above 2.5 feet.
I didn't know if, everybody in the room knew that.
Okay. I mean, it's understandable.
Chris doesn't ever leave his office, so, it's not like he knows what it is.
I saw you reaching for a soda on top of the soda machine and wondered if you had done your aloft training.
You didn't see him hook his rigger's belt up to the pad eye so he could reach up there? I saw it.
Ma'am, I do have to say that your haircut looks very...
It's very
Nice.
fitting.
Shut up.
It's nice
I
looking.
hate it.
It looks
I
fantastic.
hate it so much.
Why did you
Why?
get it?
Why do I hate it or why did I get it?
Both.
Okay. Well, I think it's pretty clear why I hate it. This thing is awful.
But you got it.
It's stacks on stacks on stacks. You guys don't know what that is, do you?
I'm bald, so no.
Well, I'm just curious on why you dislike it so much if you're the one who got it.
Remember I told you they scheduled a haircut for me? Mm-hmm. I had no choice. It was
What
like
do you mean? Like you didn't sit down and talk to the barber? Like,
he just said that I was scheduled for a haircut, and I said, why? He's like, I don't know. You were just scheduled for it. So I was like, I have to get it? And he's like, yeah, you're in this time spot, so you have to get it. And I was like, okay, I guess this is something we're all doing. And
No, not everybody, just you.
he
So, yeah, I haven't gotten a
started
haircut
just
on board.
stacking my hair, and it's like out to here now and super short.
Honestly, I'm surprised he even knew how to do that to your hair. Good for him.
Well, it's not
it's
great,
impressive.
but
I think it's very fitting.
I think the biggest question I had is it doesn't look like it's within regulations.
Yeah, like why is it longer on one side than the other? Like kind of drooped halfway in your face.
well, I think that was just him not being a very good hairdresser.
Were you
symmetry.
a blonde before you went? I thought you were a brunette.
Sun bleached.
Sun in? Is that still a thing?
Oh man.
Anyways,
what that
that's
is.
not what we were talking about.
Wait, so why are you upset about it?
About My pin?
The stacks on stacks.
Yeah, the
No,
stocks
I
and
don't want to talk about my haircut anymore.
Okay.
Okie
good.
dokie.
Don't let her get her manager
All
out.
right, then, Jesus.
Very funny.
So, anyways, your Sago pin or whatever. Sagwo.
Yes, so I have to get this within like 12 months or something like that. But,
Sounds like you got plenty of time. What's the big deal?
well, it's not really the timing, it's just how he's doing it. He's basically pitting me against this other second ensign. Like,
Friendly
forcing
competition.
us to compete.
2 second ensigns enter. One may leave.
Well, he made
With
us
the
fight
Sagwo.
over a one PQS. He said there's only one and threw it down on the table and said, all right, go for it.
So here's the important
So this is
question.
that-
Did you
Did
get
you
the
end
PQS?
up with the PQS?
I mean,
That is
I
the
did.
question. Okay.
Oh.
But the other guy, like,
Ankle biter for the
seemed
win.
so offended and so sad that I was like, fine, can you just photocopy it for me?
That's
or
what I was going to
something?
say. Like, you could have just taken away all the conflict from that by making a copy.
Well, we eventually did, but I was going to, I don't know.
So
Maybe
instead
that's
of...
the point. It's a
Yeah.
test to see if y'all actually work together. Or
He didn't
compete
pit you guys against
other.
each other. He wanted to see if you would work together as a team.
Well, I wasn't going to. But he looked so pitiful that I was like, fine, let's just make a copy.
Well, maybe
But
you hurt his feelings.
It's like 300 pages, so it took forever.
What
No.
in the world could be in that?
That's the Sagwo.
I don't know. Go to like page 222. What's on page 222 of that gigantic PQS?
It's 290 pages of useless information and 10
Probably,
pages
yeah.
of actual information you need to know.
Observe man aloft,
I mean, you basically went aloft to hang up all the stuff in here.
basically. So
Yeah, let me see. Sign
So. Are
that
we
shit.
allowed to sign that?
Sign that off.
Are
Sure.
we allowed
Screw
to?
it. It's 300 pages. It's not like they're going to go through and check every line to make sure that this person is this person. They just want to see
I don't know. I
something say.
saw some guy purposely spilling coffee on his and crinkling his pages before he turned it in.
Well, he wanted to make it look aged.
Yeah.
So I do that with
Used and
tea.
abused.
Tea works too.
I just recommend not taking a lighter to it because that could end badly.
That's oddly specific. What's the
Yes.
story behind that?
I mean, we've all
he
done
just
it.
said it.
Yeah.
We've all. I don't think
Stories
we've
done.
all lit a PQS on fire to make it look more legit.
I mean, it does look more legit if it's burned, though.
Speaking of which,
Like
Black boots.
legit, as in from the 1600s.
Yeah. Get some
You burn
papyrus.
some pages. You put
press
some
it
tea
out.
on it. Let it dry out.
he melts the wax to put the wax seal on.
Get some dip spit on it.
Go
That
see the
PQS
blacksmiths.
turns into pirate qualification system.
Right.
A partially related story, talking about the fire thing. Back in the old military, I went to shine my boots one day, which thank God we don't have to do that anymore in the U.N.A.S.S. But I went to shine my black boots, and somebody told me about doing the lighter trick to get the water to take. And no one actually explained to me how this worked, so I just got rambunctious and tried it and burnt the shit out of the leather on my boots so that they would never take a shine ever again. They're brand new.
Cool.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Good.
Sandpaper would have fixed that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at the time.
Yep. Fine grit
I
sandpaper.
just had shiny sides of my boots, and on the top would just look like shit.
So this is why I told you should just come to me if you're having to fight over a PQS.
Well,
he
I
could've just
didn't really
printed
have
one.
time. I didn't go to this. I mean, like, he summoned me to his office, and I was standing at attention again next to this other dude that I didn't know.
And you punked them.
And apparently we checked in at the same date, so we're on the same track.
Yeah,
And
Just next time, just send me a little message on the watch. Set it up.
I keep forgetting I can do that.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do if he shows up for the next status update and has more signatures than you?
We won't let that
Question.
happen.
That's not going to happen, right?
Just tell him I obviously have a real job and you don't. That's why you have more
Yeah, I have no
signatures
idea
than
what
me.
he does. I
What do you
seriously never. You know what?
do? No, that's a real question. Like, what is the Caren-O? That got really quietly awkward.
Yeah. I mean, what do we do here? She's
I mean,
in charge of the automated
I mean, just
artificial
automated, so-
intelligence system.
She's the people person.
Yeah. We're
I just see
so
admin,
obviously a people
honestly,
person.
they route their shits through me.
me, her, and Leon are essentially HMI. We are the human machine interface. I don't even
Interface
It's just,
with the machines as a
yeah.
human.
I mean, all we do really is me and Leon put in a code. And that's about it.
So wait, does that mean that if you guys mess up the code, she gets fired?
Us, I mean, essentially.
Maybe, yeah.
And we don't even
Probably.
know if like we messed up the code, if anything would actually happen. But I'm not taking that chance.
I don't know if anybody knows.
It's
My own department head doesn't know what I do.
I don't know. Maybe I'll
not going to look good for our evals.
try to purposely mess it up next time I enter it, just to see what happens. I mean, you got to know, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we try to
No, I
find
agree with
some
that.
like actual hard evidence before we try fucking it up?
Trial
I mean,
by fire.
what are you worried about? Yeah, what are you worried about, Rob?
A lot of stuff.
Like what?
I don't know. Have you ever had to enter a code into a computer in a AI system?
Supercomputer.
No.
All right then.
Do you even know what makes it super?
Do you?
No, we don't.
Quantum
knows
processors.
I don't know. I got a feeling that
Oh shit, you are
Nothing-
here. I haven't heard anything from you in like 10 minutes.
He's been talking.
Here
You
and
just
there.
haven't been listening.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to you, and I feel like maybe there's nothing would happen to you if you were to do something wrong or messed up. Mistakes can be forgiven. You can do no wrong.
Yeah, but no one
wrong.
Spoken from a guy who's never been the fall guy.
I guess. Shit.
Seen my feet. I fall a lot.
And I would think with how big your feet are that you would actually fall less.
I'm guessing the
No.
worst that's going to happen is it's going to say error.
Well, I don't want to take that chance.
What's the over under?
No over under. Just we're not taking that chance yet.
I will bet you one fresca that it says
It's tempting.
I will
False.
bet you a whole counseling shit.
I'll take it.
Ooh.
Why
Now they're
don't-
putting me on the spot, man.
Let's do some research. See if we can find anything, because there's 100 tech manuals that none of us have read yet.
Well, once you guys have done some more research,
Let's
Okay,
do
I've
that.
actually looked at some of those tech manuals because I was putting them on the shelf in high order. And I'm pretty sure they're not for our system.
Okay. Well, that throws my plan out of the water.
I'm willing
what
to
makes you
bet
say
that
that,
it
though?
will correct the code by itself.
I don't know.
I am about to invoke the holy no balls challenge.
The triple dog dare.
Yeah.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
That would be kind of cool, though. You put in the code and it fixes itself, because then you know that you never have to spend the time to do it again. You could just, like, put in the letter A and click enter, and it, like, fills it out itself.
Maybe I'll write a program that just automatically enters the code for us every 8 hours.
Let's be honest. We know that you're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I can. It's easy.
Define easy.
Like, it would probably take 5 minutes to write a piece of code that would do that.
You've
I mean,
come
he's
so
not wrong.
far.
My only fear is this.
Death.
No. I think the fear is what is the code holding back? Like, maybe that's a
Karen.
code to keep it at bay. Or maybe it's the code to unleash it.
Release the Kraken!
Release the Karen.
I don't think Karen would let you mess with her code.
That sounded
know.
oddly
Karen-
threatening.
Karen likes me a lot.
She does. I'm not actually sure how she feels about me. 'Cause she's never made me smarter or anything
She's
like
made
that.
it very clear how she feels about me.
And me.
Well, yeah. I've never done anything to her or him, whatever it is.
Neither have I, but somehow she's like threatened.
How'd she threaten you?
She didn't threaten me. It's like
Feels
she's
threatened.
like feels threatened by me.
Yeah,
And I don't even know why I'm saying feel because it's like artificial intelligence, but it's the vibe I get.
Ma'am, you're just so threatening and physically imposing.
That is true. Every time you walk in, especially with that haircut, I feel like I did something wrong.
I feel like I should get my manager.
Or I'm about to do something wrong.
I'm going to write so many counseling chits if you guys keep making these Karen jokes.
You are the Karen, though.
Literally
and figuratively.
I like how, being upset about it, she comes out with a threat of, like, I will document this accordingly. I will create a paper trail. The pen is mightier than the sword, gentlemen.
3 counseling chits for the same thing, and I can send you up.
Mm.
That would be pretty good investigating there. So what did you do? Made fun of her haircut. 3 times consecutively.
Yeah, I feel like our Devo would just put a stop to that anyway. Just laugh.
Probably. He's actually got his Sagwo pin.
Well, he's been on board longer.
Fair.
So I got a question.
And he's double her age.
Also fair.
So you brought up fears earlier. Let's talk about that.
Ooh.
What are our fears?
Fears?
Like biggest fear ever?
Or we can ask Ma'am what she got for Christmas.
Yeah, what did you get for Christmas?
A pink robe.
A pink robe. Huh?
Was it a comfy robe?
It is pretty comfy.
Was it like the robe you don't wear when you get out of the shower? Or is it the robe you wear when you get out of
No,
the shower?
I definitely wouldn't wear this if I was like not dry.
So it's a good robe then.
It's like a fuzzy, comfy robe.
Well, because the way you said that at
Embroidered?
first sounded like you didn't like it.
I mean, like,
Is your name embroidered on it?
Or is it
My
the hotel's
initials.
name?
Okay.
Oh,
The hotel's name.
Does it have K.O.?
I mean, it's thoughtful, I guess.
K.O.
guess.
That's not her initials.
Caren-O.
Actually, the
It's
Karen
not
would
what my
start with a
husband
C.
calls me. Sometimes he calls me ma'am, though.
Your husband calls you ma'am?
Sometimes.
Do you make him salute you? That giggle said yes.
All right, so you got is that it?
That's all you got was a pink robe?
Huh.
Sweet.
So he's a pretty great gift giver.
Good job, husband.
I don't even have kids yet.
Well, I mean, I hope not.
Well, let's be real.
At least
Christmas
wait till
is-
you're 25.
Christmas is more of a kid's holiday anyway.
She's 18.
I
She
just thought
basically is a
husbands
kid. It
weren't
is
bad
her
at gift
holiday,
giving
you're
until
right.
you had kids, but he proved me wrong, so.
That's
Wait,
good.
I just realized that. You're 18 and you're married?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember they met
God.
at the
You don't know
academy?
words and you don't listen.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
We were classmates.
That's right.
For
You're
a week and a half. Well, that's good.
Well, when you know, right?
Love it first class.
Test.
Love
At
it.
first
Love it
sight.
first in doc.
First sight on the webcam.
Yeah. Was it a Zoom meeting that you met him in?
Yes.
Was it about him that instantly attracted you? And you said, week and a half, I'm going to marry that man. Unspoken I. We know what that means.
Can you guys answer that question? I mean, he was funny. He was really funny.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
There you go. Do you ask
I mean,
we
like-
could answer that question?
I
like,
mean, about
for
your
you?
significant others.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
like
yeah.
his stunning good looks definitely helped.
But he was also funny. And
What was
you know
it about your wife or your wife?
About my
I mean, I
wife?
didn't marry my wife a week and a half after I met her.
It's true.
That's what I was saying. If you married
That's
him a
how
week
you
and a
know
half
it
later,
wasn't true love. It took you longer.
I guess.
Gosh.
But I did have a buddy who said that he's a funny guy, but he's not a very good-looking dude. He said, hey, being funny is the best possible thing I can be because if the girls are laughing, it means that their eyes are closed and they can't see how ugly I am. So, hey, there's logic to that.
That's a good
Fair
point.
point.
Because I'm funny. It's like how I got it in when I was younger. I had to make them laugh. So I had to run in and introduce myself with a joke. Because if I didn't, it wasn't working.
And that
And-
you have size 17 feet.
So that was actually a thing I used quite often.
I bet it was.
Oh, yeah. So if I felt that the conversation wasn't going the way I wanted to, I would find a reason to tie my shoe on the table.
Excuse me while I just put my foot right
Well, you know what they say about guys with big feet?
I
They
got
wear
socks.
big socks.
I got a long sock on each foot.
And it's really hard to find shoes.
It is, oh my God, it's extremely hard to find shoes.
You got to pay a premium for that.
Well, I'll tell you what, she's calming down. Let's get some drinks. You thirsty, ma'am?
Sure, I'll take a water.
I don't know if she actually is calming down.
I mean, she's a lesser shade of red. All right. Who's getting sodas?
Chris.
I went last time.
No, he's
I've
gone
been
way
going.
too
I
much.
want a Fresca.
We've had enough Frescas.
Actually, I think it's your turn.
All right.
We need to cleanse our Fresca palate.
Yeah, it's not
And-
even a Fresca. If
Technically,
we keep
he's right.
calling it that, people are just going to assume it is that.
I
It's gonna
thought it
lose
was.
its-
No,
It's a Kriska.
it's handmade.
Kriska.
That's what we'll call them, Criscas.
Criscas. I like that. All right. Anyways, I'll go.
All right.
Same? Normal?
Yeah.
The huge.
Ma'am, you said you wanted a water?
Water's good, thanks.
All right, I'll be back.
I'll sign this one off too because we just finished those. And well, I can't really sign this off because we need to start ground trials, which starts next week.
What is ground trials?
Well,
I mean, everybody's been talking about it, but I have no idea what it is.
well, the command's going to come out of the water, and we're going to basically drive across country.
It's the tank portion of
Yeah.
the TAS.
Okay.
So we're on ground
Basically,
trials.
we have nothing to do, right?
Us? No. As
I don't
this
know why
division.
they keep pinging me for stuff.
I can't tell you. You haven't told me anything, so if you tell me these things, I may be able to help you.
Well, I'm telling you now.
That's good. Maybe not at midnight.
I'll just forward you the emails.
How about that? Just carbon copy me on everything. Good?
Good.
Okay.
Is there any stuff about this room in that PQS?
In the Sagwa?
We can sign all that off.
Yeah. That's an easy few things because no one's come to us. Other guy, you had to Thunderdome for this PQS. If you need to, we can make sure he doesn't get this signed off. As our Divo, we'll do that for you.
That I appreciate that, but that's not needed. I don't really need to make any enemies.
Okay. I mean, who cares? But
It would be funny, but nah.
how about we hold off for like a week? I could be like, oh, you're the one, and then slam the door in his face
And then you can open it and sign it off.
in a week.
Sure.
Okay. We'll do that.
What you guys talking about? Drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
There
you.
go. Man, water.
Appreciate it.
Drink. There you go.
Thank you. Are we done training though? Now that he's
Yeah.
back, no more training.
It's all training.
Let's chit chat. What you got?
Okay.
Well, I
That
asked
sounds
earlier.
pointless.
Let's go
Chit-chat.
back to the fears thing.
You want to talk about
Oh,
fears?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, then go. Tell us yours.
So it depends, right? I used to be afraid of spiders, and I would say
Spiders.
occasionally I am. Like, I'm not afraid of them or to approach them, but I will get alarmed, so to speak, if I happen to see it and it scares me. It's like snakes. I can touch snakes, hold snakes, whatever, but if I see one in the ground and it surprises me, that shit will scare the crap out of me.
My husband
That
cannot
shit will scare the
stand
crap out of me.
snakes.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't mind him. I can see him, hold him. He cannot stand snakes.
Yeah, I just don't.
What is
I
it?
don't know,
It's
bother
like
me.
a guy thing, I think.
To not stand snakes?
I mean, every guy I've met cannot stand snakes,
Even
I've been bitten
Indiana
by
Jones.
snakes before.
Snakes don't bother me.
except for this guy.
I found a snake recently while mowing the yard, and it was funny because I reached down and I grab it and I go to show my wife, and she's out doing some gardening, like chopping stuff down. So she grabs the little edge, like the trimmers, the
Hedge trimmers?
the really long scissor ones.
The trimmers for the hedge. What are they called?
Pruning
Hedge-
shears?
The pruning
Pruning
shears. So I stretch this thing out, and she takes the pruning shears and chops off the head. But she chops off like probably 6 inches of the snake's head. So it falls to the ground, and it's all whipping around. But the part that I'm still holding on to, the way that it didn't slice into it, it like pinched and cut and like sort of shredded the snake.
Ugh.
So it wasn't a clean slice.
Poor snake.
And its
right?
heart was still holding out, and it was still beating. So right by, my hand holding it up, you just see this thing pulsating, and it's just pumping blood down my wrist.
Jesus Christ.
This is
man.
an awful story.
That's kind of
Yeah,
brutal,
what the
man.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was
It's like
cool though.
Garter
God.
snake.
Rat
snake
snake.
was
It was
just
either
black.
a rat.
Was it all
I think
black?
I think yeah, but it
It was
had
a
a
rat snake,
silver stomach.
Yeah, it was a rat snake.
He was
Yeah.
just chilling, man.
Oh, I didn't do anything wrong.
And those are the ones you
Yeah, it
want
scared me.
to
Yeah,
keep
you
around.
want those.
Yeah. They keep rodents out
Not
of your house.
in my backyard, knowing my wife is working feet away.
It's not
gonna
gonna
It
hurt
doesn't
saving
do
her life.
anything.
It's not going to go after your wife.
No, it'll give her a heart attack.
Oh my goodness.
Look, I was being there, white
Being
knight.
the man one.
Yeah, I was
White
helping
knight
her.
against a defenseless
Yeah, she's a
creature.
dame in distress, damsel in distress. And I just needed to.
I take offense
We
to
just
that.
hit the 1930s. She's a dame in distress.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take offense to that?
Yeah, it was a harmless snake.
Oh.
Oh, I thought it was the
Oh, I thought you were
dame.
the
I thought it was the
damsel.
dame.
or whatever.
Well, I mean, your wife might be a dame in distress. I don't know her.
It's damsel. That's the term.
What about you, Rob?
My fear? I join her husband. I am deathly afraid of snakes. Big, small, little, venomous, non-venomous.
Why though?
Does it keep you up at night?
So, essentially, yes. There was a movie a long time ago.
Indiana Jones.
No, it wasn't Indiana Jones. It had
Snakes on a plane.
that wasn't a long time ago. Well, for you it was. So this guy could go into other people's dreams, and he was a psychologist.
The Cell.
And no, he would put his patient to sleep. And he would lay down next to him and dream into their dreams. He was
Anna?
like, "Well, you're just naming things. Shut up."
I'm naming the plot, the movies.
No, you're not.
That is exactly what Anna
That is
said.
a movie, yes. There was only two people who could do it. One was the psychologist, the good guy. The other guy was the bad guy, essentially. They found out about each other. They were trying to catch the bad guy. The bad guy found out he had a girlfriend or a fiance or something like that. So, and you can't just wake anybody up or kill anybody in these dreams because everything's connected to move the plot along. But I was really young when this movie came out and watched it. There's a part where they're both in the dream of the fiance, and this giant walking human body snake head with a 3-foot long neck is going down this corridor, and he's chasing the guy, and he's deathly afraid of snakes. So he's like, "I know your fears," and he chased after him. So that movie right there is what really put it in motion for me to be scared of snakes, because I had a nightmare where at that time I was sleeping in a sleeping bag in my bed, and I had this king size waterbed that I would sleep in. I would crawl into the bottom of my sleeping bag. I would get stuck. I would wake up from this dream and not be able to get out of
Oh
my
my
sleeping
God.
bag. And this went on for like 2 years. So that right there is really kind of where my fear came from snakes.
I also, side note, also had a king side waterbed when I was little. I don't know why. I was like legitimately like a little kid lost at sea in this thing. But yeah, king size
Yeah.
waterbed.
It was my king size waterbed was my grandfather's. And he passed away, and they didn't want to.
So it was also haunted. That's good.
That's another story for another time. And yes, it was.
Was the movie Dreamscape?
Dreamscape. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say next.
Yeah, that was the movie.
After you named 75 other movies that
Yeah.
had nothing to do with it.
I have never heard of this
That
movie.
it's an older movie. But yeah, it was that. If you look it up at that,
Do you have
the
any
monster.
more like existential fears
What do you mean?
or like really deep fears that are not regarding again?
Snakes?
Yeah, sure. Like I fear being alone.
Oh no, I
He
actually.
has 17
kind of-
kids. He's never
Yeah,
alone.
I prefer
Yeah, he's
that
like, I do that.
sometimes.
5 minutes of peace and quiet.
Yeah, come over to my house for 10 minutes and just sit in the middle of the house and just listen. You will appreciate any quiet
control.
time. That too. Any quiet time that you actually get. But yeah, that's mine. Snakes. Anything else I can power through. Like I've done some crazy stuff that I never thought I would ever do. But when it comes to snakes, you will see me run like a 6'3" little girl just screaming. And my wife is fine with snakes. I would push her in the way of a snake.
There goes your damsel in distress.
I will save her from
There
anything.
he goes.
Yeah. To the point where when I was stationed in Virginia, we went up to see the Battle of Yorktown, and you can take the tour on the bus or you can drive around yourself. We're not very people-y, so we don't want to be on a tour bus. So we're walking, and we had one kid sleeping. So I went around, looked at this natural defilade that they had. I read the little thing. I had at the time, it was my first kid, so this is a long time ago. She was like 3 or 4. The sun's in her eyes as we're walking by, so we step in the path of this big, huge tree. So as we're walking up, I see this great-looking walking stick.
Oh,
This
no.
thing is probably about 8 foot long. Got a nice little curve.
And it was shiny.
Yeah, well, you couldn't see the shine at the time. And it was just standing there. I was like, man, look at that stick. It's an awesome looking stick. I'm going to go get it. So we're walking up, and it still has not dawned on me. I get to where my toes are about maybe 2 inches away from the butt end of this snake. And my daughter comes rolling up. She's holding my hand, sees me looking down. As she rolls up, she looks at me and then looks down to see what I'm looking at. And her feet are like 2 inches away from the snake's head. The snake, of course, recoils. Then it dawns on me. I shove my kid off to the side, So we make like a V pattern away from this snake. And at full sprint, I come around, I do a loop, I grab her, I take this big arcing loop like this thing's chasing me, all the way back to the car. I throw her in, and I peel out of there.
Like it's freaking
Like it's
gotcha.
still chasing me. This
He was
is to the
gonna get
level.
in the car.
That is the
First
level
of all, I
of
just want
fear
to
of
go back
snakes.
to your comment of this was a really cool stick. I'm going to go get that stick.
Yeah.
Pretty
yeah.
much would only occur to a man and a dog.
Yeah, it was a cool looking walking stick. If you've ever seen walking sticks, the coolest one, they're like curved all the way up like a snake would be.
I've never.
And
thought
it
that.
never.
It's like
this
a
was
wizard
snake.
staff.
Right? It would have been a perfect staff to walk with.
Lightning bolt.
Or bite you.
On one of the first dates I had with my wife, we were just walking through the mall, and we decided to stop in the pet store. And she comments on how she hates snakes. So there's like this little python there. So I asked the girl if we could take it out.
Did you kill that snake too?
No. This one's a pet store snake, so I couldn't take care of it. So I was like, come on, just pet the thing. So I grabbed the snake and I hold it between, tail and head in each hand. And all I wanted to do was for her to like pet the body, just see that it's not slimy, everything like that. But she does it with such force and swiftness.
Judo
It
chop.
was like, yeah, it was. No, I'm dead serious. It was this hard freaking karate chop right to the snake. And I'm not pinching its head directly, right? I'm letting it be loose around my hand. Snake gets
Giggity.
scared from this judo chop that it whips around and bites me and clamps onto the webbing of my thumb and forefinger and just get bit.
I'm just going
And
to
then-
say you should never interact with snakes ever.
It wasn't my interaction.
I mean, you guys
was
do not have a
facilitating.
good track record.
Well,
with
this is the
snakes.
real question. Did you get sympathy from her afterwards because it was her fault, or did she say you deserved it because you made me touch a snake?
No, in fact, it was a validation to why she's afraid of it, because look what they do. Like, no, they
When
don't
assaulted?
Exactly.
In her brain, she gently touched it.
It was a defense mechanism.
I've
It's
never
almost
felt
like
more
the
sympathy
snake
for
only
snakes
bites
ever.
in defense to the human's actions. And if the human didn't do it, I don't
Cause and
know.
effect, man. Cause and effect.
Yeah.
Of course, snakes.
So, Leon,
I have one that's a fear, one that's kind of, I guess you could call it a fear. But first one is burning to death.
Ooh.
That's like my biggest fear ever is burning to death.
Jesus.
I could not imagine
Were
how
you a
painful.
witch in a past life?
Maybe. I mean, I've burned myself a few times in my young life, and it's always super painful, and I couldn't imagine
Like all over the whole body.
my entire body being burned to death where it just shuts down and I die. Like, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but once you're dead, it's like over.
Yeah, but getting
Right.
there.
So,
So
you'd
I've
rather
only
drown.
heard that
Well, drowning
after
is like
a
4
certain
minutes.
after a certain amount of time, all your nerve endings are gone. But those
You gotta
that
get there
Yeah,
first.
you have to get there first.
Well, and your smell is still there. And you're like, I smell tasty. Somewhat related.
that
Have I ever
bacon?
hit you with my favorite would you rather question?
No.
Oh, this is my favorite one. Would
Let's
you
let
rather-
him finish his fears yet.
Oh, okay.
So my second, I don't know if it's really a fear or just like something I can't wrap my mind around. Have you ever been swimming in the ocean and the ocean floor is like 5,000 meters below you,
Yeah.
and how much that like weirds you out?
Unless it's like Mariner's Trench, but yeah.
Yeah.
It is weird when you look down and the water is crystal clear and you can't see the bottom.
Yeah.
That is very, very.
Or even
It's-
worse, when you look down and you can see the bottom, but it's so far down that you can't swim to it.
That's just, I think it's more like a wrapping my mind around it, more eerie than a fear.
You think it's because we walk on land and you expect land to be there?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Or like, hey, there's 2 miles of water between where I'm at and the ground. Imagine all the weird
That's
stuff
like a
that's
legitimate
down
fear,
there.
though, like a phobia for people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clearly not a phobia for you because you still do it,
Mhm.
but it's like a legit phobia.
Maybe
I suppose
just
anything
not
can be a
knowing,
phobia, but
Fear
Like,
of the unknown.
not
I
knowing
guess.
what's under there.
or not knowing how to survive. Like if you just got so exhausted that you couldn't swim anymore, where are you going to go?
I'm gonna make floaties out of my pants.
True.
Would you rather?
Oh, the would you rather. Would you rather cover your entire body in paper cuts and have to jump into a pool of lemon juice.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Or take a toothpick, put it point first underneath your big toenail, and kick a wall as hard as you can.
I would probably do the toothpick under my toenail.
Yeah,
That's
paper
like-
cuts hurt.
Yeah, that's like instant pain, and
But it'll go away.
it'll go away.
You
The
just have to
paper
get
cut
the-
one.
You have to get the splinters out.
The paper cut one will last for a long
There's
time.
actually a tribe in Africa that does that. They cover their body in paper cuts, pretty much, but use the like a razor blade, and they have all these open wounds, and then they take ash and rub it all over their body, so the bumps fill in. Their god is the alligator, so that's like a rite of passage, is to look more and more like an alligator. As you get older, you get more bumps, so you become a wiser alligator.
That doesn't seem so bad.
So, anyways, what would you do? Kick
Which
the wall
would I-
or the paper cuts?
Probably kick the wall. It's just quick and easy.
Ma'am?
I mean, yeah. I mean, logically, you would have to do that one, right? Like,
See-
would you really stand there and let somebody?
I
What's your fears?
watched him. Go ahead.
Before we
go
jump
ahead.
into that, let him talk.
So, I have two also, and one being kind of dumb. I talked about it before, the Evil Dead thing. So growing up, this is just ingrained in me. When I watched The Evil Dead the first time, the girl in the cellar with the eyes sticking out stuck out for me for years. So much so to this
How many?
day.
How many years? How many E's is that?
So legitimately had reoccurring nightmares, probably like
At least
3
18.
E's.
That was at least 20 years.
Number 2 for me is more of a, I guess, kind of common answer for most people, but like the existential, not that word, existential crisis. Like,
And there's the
Lay-
word of the day.
like
Yeah.
laying in bed. Well, I know what it means.
Fucking
I just
Truth
can't
word
say
of the
it.
day.
Wheel of Fortune over here.
But like laying in bed at night and you're thinking about like, well, when the day comes that I do die,
I like that
what if there
existential
really
omelet.
is nothing, right? And then like you start picturing the world and the universe and how small you really are in the grand scheme of things. If you really think about that for too long and not just go, oh, I don't want to think about that, you will fuck yourself up. You'll be sitting there like, oh my God.
Do you ever watch the show The Cosmos?
That's the one with Neil.
Yep.
I haven't actually seen it.
Have you? So the way they portray the universe is on a 12-month calendar. And human existence on that 12-month calendar is on December 31st at 11:59 p.m. That's when humans came into existence in the universe in a whole 12-month calendar. That's crazy.
We are.
Yeah, and, like you
Miami's
think
world.
about stuff like that, and then like I said, like even like say there is nothing after this, and they're like literally just that day comes and you're done. Like there's nothing, no reincarnation, no anything, nothing. You're just done.
You're going to
You
be
think
grass.
about that too long.
You will be something. You'll be grass.
Well, like your consciousness. I mean, like consciousness
yeah.
does not carry. You are just gone.
Altered
You
carbon.
think about that for too long, and you're going to be like,
Yeah, you guys are depressing.
that makes me physically uncomfortable. I don't want to think about that anymore. It's easy when I'm saying it to someone because I can see the effect it's having on them. But if I'm laying in bed at night thinking about it, I'm like, no, shouldn't be doing that right now.
So, the only way your consciousness actually passes on is through kids.
It's very Viking of you.
DNA. That's
Yeah.
fact.
I guess.
You don't have any kids, so
Traits
when
are
you die, you're gone.
a lot of traits are hereditary.
Yeah, nothing. If you don't pass anything on, you end.
It's true.
Yeah,
Either
but
do
is your
great things or
conscious-
make great people.
Is
That's
your
right.
conscience a part of your DNA? Because you got to think about your awareness and your memory and what has shaped you.
Yeah, nature
as far
versus
as-
nurture. Like, I'm sure your kid has traits from you, so technically,
Yeah, but that's all nature. But I'm saying nurture.
it could be nurture
Your
also.
experience is not hereditary.
If I had a adopted kid and that kid grew up with me and I was the father of that child, that kid will take on a lot of traits that I have. Just
Or at
because
least
of
your
Now,
values.
mannerisms. Yeah, but those aren't conscious. Those aren't.
Yeah,
your-
but if you care about who you are as a person, you want to make sure your kids have the same values to carry on their life.
Well, think about the legacy thing that we talked about. with
That's hereditary and
but a lot of that
upbringing.
But a lot of that has to do with like what I'm personally is like will, like your will. I mean, that's not something you learn.
Your determination, but you can.
You can, but
There are good coaches out there that teach, strive to be the best, and then there's other ones that are like,
can you really
winning.
teach grit though?
I was going to say, I agree with what you say about the
I would
coaches
say
thing
you
to an
can.
extent, but I've coached before, and I don't know, man. You can do so much preparation with someone, but until the moment comes where they have to stand tall and do something or crumble, and it's just you either do or you don't, be surprised how many people you see their true colors.
I mean, you can
quick.
change behaviors, but
You can't change who they are fundamentally at their core. If someone's a coward, they're going to be a coward. If someone is a naturally strong-willed person, they're going to be a naturally strong-willed person.
I don't know. I think
that's-
you can learn just about anything.
You can learn it, but when that moment comes to where you make an unconscious decision, you either act or you don't act. That's
fall
what I'm
back on
talking
training.
about. You would hope. But
Isn't that what they're always telling us?
I'm talking about more so like either integrity moments.
ride or die moments.
I am a ride or die bitch. So,
I know.
what were you going to say earlier?
Two things with the whole like death thing, or even passing on to kids. This is not necessarily a fear of mine, but it does give me a lot of anxiety. Like I dwell on it quite a bit, and that is when I do die, am I prepared to do so, leaving my son and my wife like set up? You know what I mean? Like, will they be okay?
That's fair.
And I think about that quite a lot, actually, more often than I should.
So less about the acceptance of death and more about the, is my family ready for me not to be around anymore?
Yeah, like, they gonna be good? Because
Yeah, 'cause those are two very different things to
You know
me.
what I mean? I am okay with that. When it's time, good to go.
I will say nothing has fucked me up more than when I was younger. I was at a nursing home where my grandma was, and in the bed next to her was an old lady who was like literally passing away. And the last thing she said was she looked at the like her kid or something, whoever was there, and said, "I'm not ready for this."
Well, so after death, let's talk about that.
I guess nobody wants to hear my fear. That's fine.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Rude.
I gotta go anyways.
Yeah, you mentioned the snakes. You didn't really mention your fear. That was your husband's.
As a kid, I mean, you remember those like Bloody Mary things you would say in the mirror?
I wasn't a teenage girl, so no, I don't remember it.
So
Like
that
a
was
teenage
like
girl?
an urban legend that if you said Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror, she'd appear behind you and probably kill you or whatever. But yeah, that was like an irrational fear of mine when I was a kid, and I could like not be alone in a room with a mirror, especially with the lights off. It would just freak me out. Like I couldn't even like walk by a mirror at night because I would just think Bloody Mary, and I was like, well, maybe it'll happen even if you think it 3 times. So like it was like driving me crazy.
Can't
So,
even
yeah,
think it. It's
that
like
was
Beetlejuice.
that was a rough one for me. And then like that movie Candyman came out, so it was just
Along
like
the same lines.
further solidified
Yeah.
that fear of being alone in the room with a mirror.
I can understand the mirror thing because paranormal wise, mirrors are used as like a gateway. In my first house, we had a mirror, floor to ceiling mirror down a hallway. And if
A
you
floor to ceiling, not a ceiling mirror, right?
correct.
Okay, just checking.
I mean, we had that too, but
Different room.
yeah, that was in the red one. And if you weren't paying attention, and anybody that was new to the house would come around the corner, like they're going to the bathroom, and look at themselves, and it would scare the hell out of you every time. And if you were feces faced, it would continue to scare you.
So on the paranormal note or Bloody Mary, I've seen a video once where they describe how it actually works. And you know how some cases you splash a little water on the mirror, in some cases you light a candle. But it has to do with the light and the reflection and refraction or whatever. But it's mind trickery where you do see that figure there, or you do see that face in the shadows that your brain creates. Because
It's bringing it all
you're
back for
trying
me.
to, come up with this image in the mirror that you know is there.
My adult fear, like legit, is like horrific car accidents because they happen so quickly. There's no way you would know that you'd be the one involved in one. There's like, it could be your fault. It couldn't be. It doesn't have to be your fault.
I could definitely see that the car accident that is not even
and
remotely
you're not prepared,
anything
right?
you
It's
could do
not like
something
you're
about.
getting sick or anything, and you're like, oh, I'm sick and I'm gonna die.
That's why I just drive a
It
tank.
just happens.
Or a Edison
Law
car.
of mass tonnage.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, have you ever watched dash cam videos on YouTube?
No, God, stop.
A lot
Why
of
do you do
idiots out
this?
there.
Well, on that note, we should all probably try to go get some sleep now.
Yay!
Oh, great.
I got to think
Thanks,
about
guys.
world-ending
Yay.
asteroids.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna
horrible
cover
dreams
the mirror in
and
my stateroom.
mirrors.
Just make sure they're not facing each other.
Candy Mary. Okay.
All
Well,
right, well.
you guys get out of here.
Talk to
Later.
you guys
I
later.
have to pee so bad.
Later, man. Later, bros.
U.N.A.S. Midwatch stars Robert Williams, Chris Sharp, Andrew Mingione, and Chris Short. Logo created by Natascha Mingione. Today's special guest, Second Ensign Laughlin, played by Beyonce Mosier. Thank you for listening to U.N.A.S. Midwatch.